Hello, my beautiful souls. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm a psychologist and healing practitioner with over 20 years of experience working with women all around the world. This channel is a safe, gentle space for women who are confident, ambitious, and deeply craving a life of happiness, self-love, and balance. In today's video, I'm sharing part 2 of a very personal topic, the lessons I learned in my early 20s that helped me grow spiritually and emotionally. These are not lessons I picked up from books. They came from mistakes, heartbreaks, waiting seasons, and a lot of inner work. If you're in your 20s or 30s, trying to figure out your career, relationships, family, and who you really are, this video is for you. So take a deep breath with me and let's begin. The first lesson is stop trying to change other people. For many years, I spent so much of my energy trying to fix the people around me. Fixing my partner so he could be more thoughtful, more emotionally aware, fixing my friends so they could grow up the way I thought they should, even trying to fix my family so they would understand and support me more. At some point, I realized a very painful but powerful truth. The more I tried to change others, the more I abandoned myself. I became tired, resentful, disappointed, but the real problem wasn't them. The problem was my expectations. I expected people to grow at my pace, love in my language, and understand my pain without doing their own inner work. The shift happened when I deeply understood that every person has their own timing, their own journey, and their own lessons to learn. No one is obligated to change just because we want them to. And real love is not a human renovation project. From that moment, I made a promise to myself. I would stop trying to save or fix anyone. Instead, I would focus on my own healing, my own growth, my own energy. Who am I? How am I showing up? How am I treating myself? When I changed my energy, my relationships changed too. I became calmer, less controlling, more accepting. I stopped chasing potential and started paying attention to reality. And something magical happened when the people who chose to stay in my life were the ones who wanted to grow, not for me, but for themselves. The rest naturally drifted away. If you're in a relationship or friendship right now where you keep thinking, one day they'll change, one day they'll understand, one day they'll treat me better, I invite you to ask yourself gently, am I trying to change them instead of changing how I show up for myself? The second lesson I learned is stop showing off. What's truly yours will always be yours. It does not need to be constantly displayed to be real. Social media makes it so easy to fall into the habit of performing our lives instead of living them. I used to post almost everything: a small achievement, a gift, a new relationship, a signed contract. On the surface, it looked like I was just sharing my life, but deep down, I was craving validation. I was afraid that if I didn't show it, people would think I wasn't doing enough, that I wasn't successful enough, that I wasn't there yet. Eventually, I realized something very important. The things that are truly stable and aligned in your life don't need loud announcements. The more fragile something is, the more we feel the urge to prove it to others. Real peace doesn't need check-ins and captions. Real love doesn't need to be broadcast every single day. Real value doesn't depend on likes, views, or comments. So I started to change. I began working more quietly and talking less about what I was doing. I focused on actually living the moment instead of capturing it for others. I shared what could genuinely help or inspire someone instead of posting just to prove that my life was moving. And that's when I noticed a deep shift inside. When I stopped showing off, I started to truly enjoy my life more. When I stopped performing for an audience, I started listening to myself. I started feeling gratitude for what I had, not pressure to make it look good online. The third lesson I learned is discipline is the only real bridge to success. This one was a tough pill to swallow for my sensitive, free-spirited self. For a long time, I believed that if I journaled, visualized, and manifested the right things, life would naturally align. I believed if I stayed positive and kept my vibe high, the universe would send all the good things my way. But slowly, life taught me that no healing journey and no success story exists without discipline. If you want a peaceful mind, you need discipline around your habits, meditation, sleep, the way you consume content, the way you talk to yourself. If you want a stable income, you need discipline in how you learn, work, and improve your skills. If you want a healthy body, you need discipline in how you move and how you nourish yourself. Discipline is not self-punishment. Discipline is self-love in action. It's you saying to yourself, I care about my future enough not to sabotage it today. It's you choosing not just what feels good in the moment, but what feels right for your growth. When I started waking up at consistent times, meditating even for just 5 or 10 minutes, sticking to my work schedule instead of my mood, and saying no to people in situations that drained me or pulled me away from who I wanted to become, everything started to shift. Not overnight, not dramatically, but quietly, steadily. And I realized the people we admire are not necessarily more talented or more blessed. Many of them are simply more consistent. They show up for themselves on the days when it's boring, on the days when no one is clapping, on the days when motivation is gone. So if you're waiting to feel ready or feel inspired to start, remember this. Inspiration might get you started, but only discipline will get you there. The fourth lesson is we are just like everyone else, and everyone else is just like us. This lesson made me much more humble and much more at peace. In my younger years, I often felt like I was somehow different. I thought, no one really understands me, my pain is special, my journey is unique. There was a subtle sense of being separate or even a little above, like I was the exception to how life works. But as I worked with thousands of women over the years, I began to see the same patterns, the same wounds, the same fears in different stories and different faces. The successful woman who cries at night because she feels empty and alone. The full-time mom who feels like she's invisible and losing herself. The single woman in a big city who seems so independent but feels scared and uncertain when the lights go off. I realized that our pain is more similar than we think. Our desires are more similar than we think. None of us is truly above or below others. We are all just human beings, trying to love and be loved, trying to feel safe, seen, and enough. We are all, in a way, tiny grains of sand in the vast desert of life. This doesn't make us insignificant. It makes us connected. When you understand that you are not the only one who feels what you feel, you become less judgmental and more compassionate. You judge others less, and you judge yourself less, too. I stopped needing to feel special. I stopped needing to be the smartest, the strongest, the most awake person in the room. Instead, I just wanted to be real, to be present, and to be kind, to see myself in others and see others in myself. When I embraced the idea that I am like everyone else and everyone else is like me, I became softer. I looked at strangers with more tenderness. I listened more deeply, and I allowed myself to be imperfect, just like everyone else. So these are the 4 lessons that shaped my inner world in my early 20s. Stop trying to change people, stop showing off, remember that discipline is the real bridge to success, and understand that you are not above or below anyone. We are all walking each other home. Thank you so much for staying with me until this moment. I hope that at least one sentence in this video resonated with you, comforted you, or gave you clarity. If one of these lessons hit you the hardest, tell me in the comments. I read every comment, and it helps me understand you better so I can create more content that truly supports your healing and growth. If you want to walk this journey with me more closely, Don't forget to like this video so YouTube knows this is the kind of content you want to see more of. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next part, and if you feel that another woman in your life needs to hear this, please share this video with her as a small act of love. Take one more deep breath with me. You are doing so much better than you think. I am so proud of you. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next video. May your day be soft, peaceful, and full of love for yourself.